I normally go to Caesar Saw, it's my first night here. Caesar Saw it's on Saturday at sunset, it's the same kind of audience and everybody. The first poem I'm going to do, I wrote as a list of facts about a friend of mine, which became a short story, which became a poem. It's called Marahu, New Neighbour. Marahu means slow and Kimi Wanda. As she pours out the tea, her hands shake with the strain. Dreams of her parents, her head filled with pain. A half smile on her face as we drink, but she never sleeps well and she struggles to think. Pills from the doctor who treats her for shock, perhaps. Best to keep secrets and never to talk. I asked, what happened and what was it like? I went to the films, had a job, rode a bike. Once again I asked and she sighs in distress. Asked me, if you've been the police or maybe the press. The council sofa is smelly and rotten smoke, like the tales on our head that will never get told. We are friends, she says, but remain so afraid. If you never trust anyone, then you can't be betrayed. Yet her face is strong, and over the fireplace day and night stands the Virgin Mary, who travelled in her bag on the flight. And a tea caddy, some string, buttons and a lace. She hoards things, just in case. Once out the street, she'd have been poured over her head by a thug who called her a packet! She wished that she were dead. But most people like her company and her food. Few are the fools who turn away or are rude. To keep Rwandan culture alive, her clubs sing, talk and weep. Some memories are worth trying to keep. The high hills, colourful clothes, banana beer, the music, the songs, nights filled with cheer. Chatting to her friend over more cups of tea, forgetting herself, she almost smiles at me. She remembers her lover, the first steps of her child, the cry of a gorilla coming out of the wild. She's a survivor, and she will survive. Her son reads her reciting, warm and alive. Thank you. Leaf is very appropriate given the weather tonight. Once in the slowly stuttered autumn of my life, I carved the words, intricate words, onto crumbling leaves that tumbled as they momentarily flew skyward. Raindrops pattered every one of them into the October mud to lie as golden patterns underfoot. But in storms like this, I have so few words left, and the leaves are now all gone. Thank you. I carry the words in case I've got a memory like I said, in case my memory goes blank. Fly. The fly in the mountain slope enjoys the view, perhaps. Does the human that is clinging tight to the edge of their planet, legs dangling through the stars that hide in the daylight, ever look down and out and everywhere do you appreciate the view? Thank you. This one is about writing a poem. It's called While Writing a Poem. My head drops back, eyes penetrate the cloudless sky. A word falls out of my brain, just missing my mouth to splash on the empty page. Spreading as an ink stain that moves through fields of cornflowers. Swallows race across the sky, open mouths feeding on one colour only. A group of Scots pine are deeper tinted in the haze of distance, and beyond that, far beyond the sea. When the dark comes, Vega rises in the cold eastern sky. Thank you. This poem has got some calls, which are human calls used by a hunt to control hounds that fox on it, and the hunting still goes on, believe it or not, in Scotland. So the calls are human voices, not the voices of hounds. It's called The Beast. I recently read in a Hunt magazine, a hunt for asking for hunting with hounds to continue because there were so many wonderful poems about the beauty of the hunt. His idea of nature and my idea of nature are different. his idea of poetry and my idea of poetry are different. Cry of the huntsman heard in the cold wind, call of the lead hounds angry and loud, horn sounds ever nearer, nowhere to run. Humans are coming, it is me that they seek. Enjoying the view, valleys and hills, exultant their screams as I break from my wood. Poets pleasure at the sunset, stealing the light, pressing me hard, hounds laugh at my plight. Do I run? Do I turn? Try hard to fight. Death follows so near, biting the air. 12 and a half couple, cowards every one. Tell my tale through the long night, the one fight I lost. Bury my bones beside the quick stream. Begin the morning, tell my wife that I died. Gather my friends and tell of my brave deeds. Go forth and sing the song of my life. Running through these little bits of mud, rail tracks and roads slowly pass by. Turn round and face them, the leaders charge and twisting and biting the terror of my guts. Rip 'em in down! Rip 'em in down! Rip 'em in down! Whoa! 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 Thank you. This one was written when watching the events in Burma. Lotus. Sabisatava havantu sukitata, Sabisatava havantu sukitata, Sabisatava havantu sukitata. The general is annoyed that his breakfast has been rushed. He has important work to do. The protest must be crushed. Before the statue in the temple, he bows his body old and bent, amongst the floral offerings, but not awakened by their scent. May all beings be happy. He chants the Buddha's words each day, yet never stops to think, is killing monks the Buddha's way? A lotus that can never flower, and not the only one, is stuck within the weeds to blacken in the sun. No longer the scent of incense, just the stink of decay that blows through the streets to welcome the day. No one left to protest, no students left to cheer, just hordes of angry soldiers who get out pain and fear. No broken monks are left to fill our TV screens. No more cries of protest, just empty, silent screens. The general's busy on the phone, business deal to do. The wide world is his market, including India and China too. No one left to protest, for no one in Burma is free. No one left to protest, except for you and me. Thank you. It's a very short one. It's called The Politician's Truth. I read somewhere that our politicians spoke the truth about Iraq. If that is so, then that truth was but the fading memory of a ghost that never came, seen through a dirty mirror on a foggy, moonless night. Thank you. Two last poems, both short. One of them is an optimistic view of life, one of them is a pessimistic view of life. Take your pick. The wind. The wind does not exist to do your bidding. Throw a kite into my arms and I will tear it to shreds. I am in the lungs of this stumbling climber, gasping for breath on the goat fell ridge below the far wide sky, above the endless sea. I'm the rhythm in the poet's voice as he struggles to control the overflowing words and phrases and twists and turns. That can also be found in the harsh words of a scorned lover as they threaten revenge. At weekends I am in your stuttered obscenities as you reach a state of ecstasy trembling within her bangle-covered arms. During 1994 I could be found in the breast of a Rwandan child, crying out to the grave of its mother, "Why did you leave me alone?" Well, many things. Sometimes I am the angry wind fight with the rain and the black of night. And quite often you tell me that exists merely to steal the tiles from your roof. Again, at dawn, and the soft wind, the traces of foam was winging above the rising, breaking wave. And after years of struggle, I'm the breath of enlightenment that issues from the nose of the meditator as he sits in Satori. And I will be in your mouth, hot and stale, on the day you die. But you, you will not remember that. Thank you. You probably guess I was a pessimistic view of life. That's a cheerier one. Cycling up the Crow Road near Lennox, and Crow is a very big help for any cycle. Legs are straining as light is fading, hillside shading, sweat and sunset colours stain each golden grain. Muted hues are spreading into leaves and shedding, streams together threading and downwards heading, laughing, calling, limbs are stalling, singing in the rain and cycling through the pain. White girls darting, diving, arising, lit by brilliant shafts of dancing lights as they tumble down the empty air to squabble here and there, and the very where winds are bracing through that sheep I'm chasing ever faster, racing homeward bound, turning corners down and around, tired and wet and cold wind facing, heavy breathing is the only sound. Tighter bends, a tail attention, straining eyes to see the grey passion, yellow dotted up with light, known to please, happy and free, just the two of us, my bike and me. Thank you.